I gotta say, as I sit here contemplating the grueling task of breaking down another game play by play, my motivation is low. My primary motivation at this point is the fact that you guys appreciate it, those of you who view the channel. And that does feel good, and I like that there are other people out there with me on this. But when I started, the goal was for there to be some historic evidence that we were all being lied to. And I was alone. No one was looking at my channel. I just felt like I needed to get it in the history books how ridiculous this LeBron James era of basketball has been. And now it's gotten so bad that people are waking up. There's certainly many channels, and even channels that aren't anti-LeBron are like, okay, this is getting a little bit crazy. I can pick any game of the season, and know that I'm going to have a plethora of ammo to work with to make fun of LeBron James. That's not good. That's not good. Whether I hate the guy or don't hate the guy, that's just a really sad state of a sport. And the fact that despite what I just said being true, knowing that the announcers and the media are going to be complimenting him, that's maddening. And this is why people are waking up. I mean, they just are absurd. They're over the top with it. What am I going to accomplish breaking down another game that shows what I show all the time? The LeBron people are unreachable. They just are unreachable. Historic reference, I guess, is a good motivation. But man, how much evidence do I have to present? LeBron fanboys will accuse me of picking and choosing the games that I break down carefully. Nope, not true. I mean, I actually have gone out of my way to choose LeBron's quote unquote better games in order to make the exact point that it's all bullshit. Even the great games are shit games. And then these games where he gets 0 rebounds. I mean, come on. I have to go and watch that one just to see how it's possible for someone who sits under the rim like him and cheats getting back across court can actually physically not get a single rebound. And I saw the Rockets-Lakers box score where LeBron's numbers are like as bad as they possibly could be. And he has a plus 16, and I look under it, and AD has a way better game. And he only has a plus 12. Yeah. What, do I really have to break these things down? Maybe for entertainment purposes, breaking it down, just having fun with it. But it's bittersweet because I'm literally making fun of the sad state of the NBA. I don't want the NBA to be in a sad state. Similarly, I don't need for Michael Jordan to be the GOAT. I don't have a problem with another player coming along and wowing my socks off again the way Jordan did, as long as it's real and not manufactured. And it didn't have to be MJ that I said, anyone that you found their play to be inspiring. That's the reason I jokingly used that inspiration song in the gameplay video breakdown, because watching LeBron James is just the opposite of inspiring. We're going to reach the point where Adam Silver is wheeling him down the court in a wheelchair, telling everyone to get out of the way, and helping him get a little bank shot in as he reaches 40,000 points. It's just getting sickening. Let me say this as evidence for how bad things have become. When other channels that are just pure love of basketball and Not like mine. Mine from the very beginning was to point out the lie, what I see as a lie. But even positive energy people like Sean David at Basketball Time Machine can no longer hold it in and are calling this crap out in the death of the NBA. I mean, that tells you something. I feel like I have to talk about the quitting versus retiring thing because LeBron fanboys want to say that Jordan was a quitter for walking away from the game when he was absolutely dominating the game. Won his first three-peat, then won his second three-peat. In both cases, he was undeniably the best player in the league and would have only continued to rack up accomplishments, and yet they say that that's quitting. Michael the first time said that he lost some of the motivation, and I'm sure his dad's death had a shitload to do with it. But, I can't help but imagine fanboys saying that I'm quitting because LeBron is actually great. But the level of delusion knows no bounds. I am actually losing the motivation of a challenge because LeBron is making it so easy. And I see that there are other people out there ready to pick up the mantle, already doing it. What is the need? What is this deep, deep, deep need for LeBron fans to believe that they are watching the GOAT or that who they chose was the GOAT? I didn't choose Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan chose me because I couldn't deny it. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. You're just like, goddamn. Every night doing some crazy thing you've never seen before in your life. And I'm not talking about running people over. These fanboys that come on my page and just desperately copy and paste whatever line that they came up with and just keep copying and pasting it over and over again. And their usernames are LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, or I love LeBron James. LeBron James's dick tastes good in my mouth. I mean, these fucking fanboys are really something. It's weird. It's really weird. And the fact that it's based on a lie makes it even weirder. But, even if LeBron was as good as they want him to be, I would find this level of devotion to be a little weird. Like I said, I enjoyed watching Michael Jordan, even when I cheered against him. But we didn't sit there saying, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT. This concern about who the GOAT is and whether or not you're watching the GOAT was manufactured by the NBA. And it's working. It's got, when people are heated and people are talking, it, I guess in one way or another, it equals interest in the game. And yet viewership is still down. So I'm not quite sure what to make of that. Apparently I reached 10,000 subscribers. That's not much compared to a lot of channels, but my God, from where I started, that's something. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate that you understand my pain and the reason for all of this content in the first place. You probably can understand why I question whether or not to bother continuing to make these sorts of videos. I mean, it's like LeBron has just made it too easy. LeBron has actually made it too easy. There is no challenge in it. I don't have to have a challenge. But it just seems like enough people have woken up and the NBA has gotten so sloppy with their bullshit that the only people still buying it are the people that are going to buy it no matter how bad it gets because of this weird need that they have to believe that LeBron is the GOAT. There are so many examples I could use in real life, or outside of basketball, I should say, where people learn one thing or are told one thing and accept it as the truth. And departing from that truth is too hard for them to do, no matter what evidence comes their way. I'm not going to list the examples because it'll get way too heated and controversial. But there are plenty of examples from outside of basketball. People just are not going to let go of what they originally decided was true. And that's a human condition. I'm sure I've been guilty of it, but I'm proud to say that I have experienced things that I let go of and realized I was wrong about. But that's really hard for humans for some reason. And this is another example of it. No, I'm not really retiring from this. Wait, let me try that again. Lucky for you guys, that day is not today. But I did want to acknowledge that I don't feel like I'm exposing anything anymore. The evidence is getting pretty overwhelming. Now it's just up to people to choose to open their eyes. All right, that's the end of the main podcast. For my own sake, I'm going to go ahead and read this box score comparison because LeBron James had fewer points than field goal attempts, and he had 5 free throw attempts, and even that couldn't get his point total above his attempts because, I hate to point out obvious things, but it's part of the point I'm trying to get across. You have 5 extra opportunities to get your point total without it counting against your field goal attempts with the free throws, and he still couldn't do it. And he went 0 for 4 from three-point land, 0%. How the fuck can you only shoot 40% from the free throw line? They're free! It's not that unusual for him to not get offensive rebounds, but only 4 total? 7 assists, I guess. I guess that's okay. It's not incredible. I don't even have to go and look to know that Jokic probably got 35 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists. But you're not going to hear about him, are you? 5 turnovers. Good God, dude. Team high, 5 turnovers. And that comes to a plus 16. Anthony Davis has a higher shooting percentage. He gets 27 points on 22 field goal attempts. 77.8% from the free throw line. Not amazing. It's not 40, though. He had 14 rebounds. 6 of them were offensive. 3 assists. And 5 blocks. You can't properly calculate the importance of a block in terms of what it does for energizing your team and demoralizing the other team and getting the crowd into it. It's huge. It's huge. The blocks alone should be boosting AD's plus minus. AD's got a 12, and LeBron's a fucking sorry, disgusting gameplay got him a 16. Anyway, let's not dwell on the plus minus very much because at this point, I think we all know it doesn't make much sense.